All right, hey Tim, good to connect
Hey,
with you.
hey, Fred, how are you,
Uh,
buddy?
so I wanted to just take a few minutes and just let you share a little bit about kind of some changes that have happened in your life, both personally and professionally. And you've done some coaching with me. So, kind of as a start, why don't you just tell us what you do and what you did?
Sure, yeah. So, hey, thanks for the opportunity. I appreciate it. Yeah, 2023 has been a new flesh for us, and right there's 2024, and we're ready to get into it. So, 2023, at the start of that, we had one child, and I was working full time as a nurse practitioner and full time as a real estate agent, just by myself as well. And then at the end of 2023, we now have three children, one through adoption, one through birth after 13 years of infertility. We've lost my father-in-law suddenly, and now instead of a single agent, I actually own my own real estate brokerage. So it's been a year of transformation, and I am so thankful for your guidance and help with coaching, life coaching, business coaching at the start of 2023 to help me wrap up 2023 on a positive
Awesome, man. That is a ton. Just hearing you
note.
say it is
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
woo.
Stretch, stretch, right? Yeah.
So let me start with asking you what got you interested in working with me with coaching?
Yeah. So, I have always been one that I know my personality benefits from guidance. I am an entrepreneur, but at the same time, I appreciate somebody speaking into my life that I know and trust that what they are saying is good, worthy, spirit guided input into my life, into my business. So, I found myself kind of spinning my wheels at the start of the year and, prayed about how can I put traction to the ground to really get through some of the challenges that we're going through in terms of the transformation of our family, and really, set the bar to finish the year strong and then move forward into the next year as well. So I've heard great things about you. Obviously, we've got some personal connections, and it was worth it. There is a great return on investment (ROI) for anybody that does investments when you invest in yourself. And that's not a selfish statement. That is a learned statement that, yes, there are things outside of this world that you can waste money on, right? But also things that you can spend money on that are going to give you return on investment that is just innumerable. So that is it. Business coaching, life coaching was one of those for me.
That's probably one of the best pieces of advice I would say is to bet on yourself and to invest your money on yourself because that's the only thing you really can control and the growth and it also grows your confidence um, and really positions you in a much more secure place, even though it may feel scary to bet on yourself. It puts you in a more secure place, and so I was so excited when you decided to get involved with coaching with me. So um, I guess another question would be what would you say was maybe the biggest thing that helped you in the coaching? I mean, I talk about everything from having an abundance mindset, getting rid of limiting negative thoughts and faulty beliefs, and I talk about how God wants us to, be successful and but use that for bigger purposes than ourselves. And sometimes people struggle with like, can I be successful and like solid
Yeah.
and all that. What really hit best for you as I did the coaching?
Yeah. So really there were two things that really stuck out to me. The first was the self-assessment.
Mm,
I don't know that I have ever taken a formal exam or really time or effort to understand how God has wired me,
mm,
and to get some explanation and understanding of how I operate and why, and
mm,
then transfer that into how I probably best interact with other personality types. So not only professionally in the business, right? That was really helpful to be able to kind of dissect people now. Oh, they're CD or so
from the disc, talking about the disc.
yeah, from the disc,
Yeah.
but also that translating into my personal relationship with my wife and my family. So that was really beneficial of, okay, help me be quick to listen, slow to anger, right? Because they're coming from their wiring. So that was really helpful. And then just the principled success model with the different principles that we went over each week. My favorite was the abundance principle, and the family principle as well. So the abundance really set the tone of the spirit in which we need to operate. Recently we've gone through, just personally, some financial challenges with having the two new babies, and then my wife wanting to be a stay-at-home mom. And I was presented an opportunity. Things are tight financially, but I was presented an opportunity the other day at McDonald's. I had to stop there, do some business, meet somebody in a couple minutes, and I noticed a homeless guy sitting on the booth. So I don't know what it was. I mean, I know it was God, but I feeling God saying, "Hey, reach out, give." Took the guy up front, gave him a gift card for some food, knowing that I'm going to have to pay for this at home when I tell my wife what I did. But I remember Fred going back every time about how things were tight for him financially, but you know what? He cared for his people. He took them out for lunch and knew, this hurts, but it's worth it, and it's going to pay off. So I saw dividends from that. I really do. So those are two really distinct, I think, takeaways from the coaching that really helped me.
It's interesting that you say those, because those are the things that I probably am most passionate about and major on, is the strength-based principles of success. Like focus on your strengths, understand your wiring and your gifts, the DISC assessment that I help people take. And then, Strength Finder and just understanding that wiring is so helpful. And then just understanding that there are principles of success that make you more effective, and having an abundance mindset opens doors. And it's counterintuitive, because sometimes it hurts, but it opens doors that otherwise scarcity mindset doesn't.
Yeah, absolutely. And just case in point, I was honestly in my booth in McDonald's kind of panicking, because we own some investment properties, and I haven't had an investment property get leased or really have any leads reach out to me. And I was fretting in that moment. And then I looked up and realized, shut up. Things could be so much worse, Tim. So, and then after that interaction, literally within the next day, I had 3 people reach out to me about that specific property. So it just really spoke to me that God saw me. He honored what I did with that principle of abundance and giving. It was just amazing. It's super humbling, but it just really reminded me of the coaching and training I had with you.
So one of the other things that happened was, right on the heels of the coaching that we did, you had an opportunity to go from a single agent to buy a agency. Talk to me a little bit about that process and kind of what position it puts you in, because that's a whole different ballgame of leadership, and then also revenue and those kinds of things. Sure.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, I started out 2023 working full-time as a nurse practitioner and doing real estate on the side full-time as well, but as an independent agent with a brokerage. My wife and I prayed after we had adopted a baby in January, and then found out 2 weeks after bringing that baby home that she was pregnant, again after 13 years of infertility. So my wife and I prayed, because the schedule I had at the hospital just wasn't going to work for growing our family, having 2 babies at home. So stepped out in faith, said, hey, we're going to do this real estate thing. And then, at the start of March, through a couple different things, unfortunate circumstances for others, poor decisions, but I think favorable ones for me, where, God honored my dedication and my mindset. I was given the opportunity to take the leadership role and acquire my own franchise office with FC Tucker in Indiana. So the largest real estate company in Indiana, I now have the opportunity to run and manage that Anderson franchise. So, it's really different operating just Tim. And now I start with 12 agents under me at the, March of this year, and then in 2023 with 16 agents. Okay. So, kind of getting into that leadership role again of, okay, it's not just me producing volume, it's me producing volume for my family, but also pouring into my team, my agents, letting them know I love them, and serving them. My motto is serving people, serving others is something that really fills my love tank. So it's been very rewarding. And from a financial standpoint, it's been pretty lucrative. When you have other people on your team that are assisting in the income, paying the overhead, that's been, one of those bonuses, I guess. So
Sure.
we've seen, an uptick in, revenue stream for that as well.
So revenue from what's the most revenue you did as a independent agent in a year?
I topped out at me individually. I topped out around $5.5 million within 1 year. That's still doing healthcare full time as well.
Yep.
This year, in our first year as a franchise, we're going to finish just about $22 million in sales.
Okay.
So
you're talking 4 times the management, of something. Yep.
Yep.
Definitely. Yep. So, Tim, one of the things that I'm a big believer in is that if we're going to be successful in business, I also believe it's about the person too. And so my coaching is about the whole person, and you've kind of alluded to that a little bit. And so one last question I wanted you to just maybe speak to is some people, get on the fence about coaching, whether it's worth the money, the investment and the time. And what would you say to people of your best advice of why it would be the best choice to join a coaching program?
Yeah. So for me, coaching made sense. And this kind of goes into a personal level. There was a point in time where in our marriage relationship, we had to get some counseling. And that really opened my eyes to what benefit it is to have somebody, a third set of eyes or second set of eyes, assess the situation and speak into what they see. Because it's not until you allow somebody in your comfort zone that you're going to feel pain, uncomfort, but also the opportunity to grow and be realistic and understand this is who I am. This is why I'm doing it. These are the things I need to work on. These are my strengths that I can really build on. So for me, there is no really, in a selfish way to say this, there is really no better investment than in yourself. It really allows you the opportunity to identify who you are, how you work, and how you can take how you're wired and then move that forward into a pattern. And that's the thing, is it's the pattern of repetition to build successful future. And that's something that, I build in affirmations daily. We learned about that as well. It really is the opportunity to set yourself on a different course, because I could still be spinning my wheels and have wasted an entire year spinning my wheels. But like I said, allowed me the opportunity to put some traction to the ground and really take off. So if you're on the fence, try it. Put it on a credit card, pay it off. That's what I did, right? So it is what it is, guys. It's an investment. There's no doubt. Structure your business. This is a tax write-off. It was for me. So it's a personal investment. Set aside your Starbucks, your Big Macs. Feel the pain. It's worth it. I'm 100% wholeheartedly recommend that.
That is such a great reality, that our best growth comes when we're willing to lean into the things that are hard and challenging, but they pay off.
Which is covered in the wilderness principle.
So many times over. Yep, definitely.
So, that's another one of my favorites as well. Guys, there's all of these principles that we're talking about, they're just transformative. They really are.
Awesome. Well, Tim, thanks for taking a little bit of time. And man, I am so proud of you.
Thanks, brother.
And excited to see what God does this year for you.
Hey, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. Love you.
All right, man. Love you too.
All right. Bye-bye.